After the lifting of martial law in 1981, a string of nation-changing events marked the beginning of the end of Marcos's 21-year rule. From the assassination of Ninoy Aquino in 1983 to the presidential electoral fraud in 1986, and the growing economic and social discontent of the people in between. On February 22, 1986, the tide had turned against the dictatorship with a final withdrawal of support for Marcos by his chief allies, Juan Ponce Enrile, Defense Minister, and Fidel Ramos, AFP chief. Cardinal Sin, in an effort to protect the two who were camped in Camp Aguinaldo and Camp Crame, made a call to the public to gather at EDSA and protect the rebels. On February 25, 1986, after 4 days of massive demonstrations and defections from the military, Marcos and his family were finally forced to flee to Hawaii, bringing with them the remainder of their ill-gotten wealth, 22 crates of cash, valued at $717 million, 300 crates of assorted jewelry, $200,000 in gold bullion, and deposit slips to foreign banks worth $124 million. Cory Aquino led the fight for the return of democracy in the country after being chosen by the opposition to be the presidential opponent of Marcos. As the widow of the slain Ninoy Aquino, she was the perfect figure to ignite the people to action and bring about the return EDSA was a unique revolution because of its odd mix of imminent danger and festive atmosphere. In a span of 4 days, great Filipino values were witnessed by the entire world. Courage, faith, religiosity, humor, and sense of community. The true essence of the Bayanihan spirit was demonstrated for the whole world to see. The People Power Revolution made international headlines as the revolution that surprised the world. It triggered other pro-democracy events in other parts of the world. The fall of the Berlin Wall in Germany. The fall of South Korea's strongman Chun Doo-hwa. The overthrowing of the communist regime in Romania. And the rise of the Tiananmen democracy movement. After Marcos's 21 long years, freedom was finally achieved. But the road to true democracy is still long as the extensive harm of Marcos's despotic rule continues to affect the Philippines until today. It is the task of the present generation to untangle that hold and to continue with the spirit of EDSA to achieve that true and empowering revolution of strong institutions and more engaged citizenry.